Good morning and welcome to Planner Craft. Hopefully you're alright. Do you want me to move the camera a little bit back up there?
I was going to say a little bit down there, and there we go.
Is that better? Yeah. You need to go a bit higher. Hang on.
Hang on. Sorry to making everybody dizzy. There we go. That's a bit better. I can see a bit better then. Hi, Deb.
Morning all. You're stuck with me this morning.
Hi, Delcy.
So this morning we're planning on making our design that I created in Canvas the other day.
Nice one for you to try and say there.
Oh, Ingrid.
Yeah.
Ingrid's easy to say. It's the
Good morning.
yeah. Good Morgen. German.
Going German. not originally German though, you know. I would like your spellings off.
Oh, it's just me. It could be either of.
Hi, Carol.
So, morning all. As I said, you're stuck with me this morning. Natalie is going to be back this afternoon, but she's going to be back at 3 o'clock, not 2 as originally planned. Just to avoid conflicts with other things on the telly and other things happening, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully we'll do that. And hopefully I'm going to be creating our letterpress poster today. With a bit of luck. So I've done a little bit of prep work. You'll be glad to know I've had a bit of a play and a bit of a practice. Yeah. Because if I don't, it all goes wrong. And
Hi, Thea.
it may well still all go wrong. So I have some card and bits here. So my first thing I did is I drew it out of pen on just a normal piece of paper. And the reason I did that, it gives me a good idea of alignment. Can everybody see that or not? I might have to move it across a little bit because I took it higher, didn't I?
Yep,
that's better. I can now because I've just moved it across, but you couldn't. So I've drawn it out with just an ordinary pen on some just cheap paper. It's some bits we got with one of the sets we got, wasn't it?
Yeah, I may have to close some programs because I think it's struggling a bit here.
Okay. Can everybody hear me okay, and is it looking alright? Just let me know. Obviously that's what I'm worried about, it struggling, so just let me know if everything's okay. So I've just drawn it out with a normal pen on the machine. Drawn each bit individually because I created each. Remember, I created all the files one bit at a time. So all the swirls are separate, the hearts are separate, the text is separate, and then there's a different colour swirl that I've created as well. So also, on a test piece of card,
Is your foil fighting back then?
I mean, a bit of paper's fighting, and the masking tape's fighting back and trying to. So I've done some tests in the pens I want to use. So the one pen is the pale blue, which is for the one set of swirls. I have red for my hearts. Now the other one that I want to use is dark blue, but it's the same pen as the red, so I've not needed to change that. And I've just read my settings on there, and I've also tested my embossing for later as well. I don't know if you can make out there that piece has been embossed, and if you look on the back, you can see that we've embossed it using the scan and cut, which I will show you how to do later, which is how we get that letterpress effect. Now time-wise, I may not get all the embossing done because it takes about 3 attempts to get it down to that layer. So hopefully we'll see how it goes with time.
Yeah, because you've got drawing and filling to do.
Yeah, I've got drawing to do, I've got foiling to do. So for my foiling for my text, I've chosen a lovely purple. So you can see there, it's a fantastic shade of purple. It's the foil that we sell. And it's from our Jewel range. It's a lovely colour. We sell this in 12 by 12 sheets, or we do a taster pack where it comes in. What do we do it in 6 by? We're changing it, aren't we, the taster pack? Cause it's
yeah, so the taster pack's going to go down to A5, didn't we say?
yeah, the A5.
A5 envelopes.
Yeah, just for the envelopes, because obviously it's costing us a fortune to send 12 by 12 taster sheets as well. So that's the purple.
So if you want the 12 by 12, you're going to have to be quick.
Yes.
And hi Tracy.
Yeah. So that's our plan. I did that one so I was going, Natalie can colour that one in, because I know she'll have some fun colouring that one. So, onto the scan and cut. So we've got some work to do on the scan and cut. So let's change the camera. So I already have my scan and cut started up this morning, and all the information I need is saved to the USB. So first we're going to go to Retrieve Data and USB. And I'm going down to find the folder, my Ian's Live letterpress folder, which is where I saved everything to. And I'm going to start with the light blue swoosh. So this is the one that's probably the most drawing. Bring it in, and you can see it's already filled and positioned. So all I need to do to that is go OK, and OK. We're going to go to Select, we're going to go to Draw, and I'm going to change the settings. So I'm going to turn my pressure down to -2. I might speed it up just a little bit because that said 19 minutes on it, and I don't really want it to take 19 minutes. 9 minutes, that's better. The one thing I want to check before I go too far is my fill settings. So we're just going to select it, go to Edit, Object Edit, Fill. So fill is turned on, and this is the important bit, the fill line spacing. So for my blue pen, if I go back to my reference sheet, I set it to 0.020, which is what it's on, and my fill pattern is set to solid. So that's what I want it to fill, nice and solid. So those are OK, and OK, and OK, and OK. Please select, draw. OK, and that's almost ready to go. So I'm going to pop you back to the overhead so you can see me putting the pen into the pen holder and loading my mat. So let's pop back. So today I'm using Carl's universal pen holder. So this is from 3D Fun Prints. So it's a funky one, and if you want to enter our competition to win a set of these, you still can, you have time.
£5, isn't it, the taster packs?
Yes, it's £5 for 10 sheets. And the pen I'm using is a Kuretake Cure Colour, a Zig fine and brush. It's designed for manga. And I will be using the fine tip, not the brush. So, using our pen holder, we're going to put the guide on the bottom, and we're going to pop our pen in. It might need loosening off a little bit because I've just had it done really tight for the embossing tool. Let's loosen that a little bit more. So we're going to push it through so our pen pops through the bottom and goes into the guide.
That's meant to say, unfortunately, we are not shipping worldwide currently. Oh dear.
And what does it say?
I put we are. No, we're not. We're not.
No, just because of the current EU restrictions and worldwide restrictions. We will have to have a look at costs if people want it worldwide, won't we? So I'm just going to give that a bit of a scribble because obviously my holder's a little mucky. They're not obviously onto my nice clean sheet of paper there. And I'm just going to grab my mat and load that. So again, I'm using an Artistix mat. For those of you who are waiting to order an Artistix mat, my latest update from Lee is they should be available from between the 17th and 18th of February. So hopefully he's had to reorder the adhesive that he had issues with, so hopefully that should be back in and they should be able to restocked by the 17th, 18th of February. Fingers crossed. But we do prefer the Artistix mats, they're a lot better than the Brother ones. And Lee does ship worldwide, so if anybody does want a mat, obviously if you wait just till after the 17th and 18th, then hopefully all the mats will be available again. So I'm going to use my blue pen. I'm just going to pop that into my pen holder, which it fits nicely in. I'm going to swap back to the close cam. So my settings are still the same, so it says 9 minutes, pressure of -2, speed of 3, so that's what I set it up as earlier when I did my test. I'm going to go start. And it says attach appropriate pen holder. Now because it's Carl's 3D fun print holder, that's fine. It just comes up saying that. It just doesn't recognise the pen holder. You press OK, and you press start, and away it goes. So it's just a brother thing, I think, and it just does it, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's a weird one, isn't it?
It is. Oh,
Yes,
I didn't clean it enough.
The
Obviously.
real memory keepers doesn't do it. What didn't you do?
I didn't clean my nib properly enough. I still got to. But it came out clear when I was rubbing it on here. Look.
You have to give it a good rotate round.
Yeah. Oh well, it's only a little bit. I don't mind too much.
I'll pop up the link for the universal pen holder as well.
Okay.
So if people want to order from elsewhere.
So do we have any questions whilst that's drawing and filling our designs?
Do you want to just show about your test that you did?
I did show my test earlier. Yes.
Okay.
I showed my test when I started.
Or tell people how to do their own.
Yeah, so when I was doing my test sheets earlier, all I did was a piece of card that's the same stock, the same quality, and we've got plenty of this, so I just used another sheet of the card. The card I'm using is from Lime Tree Crafts, and it is 200 GSM Super Smooth, so it's a nice quality card. Natalie's going to put you a link up for you. So it's a very nice piece of card. As you can, if I swap cameras a moment, you'll both see that it doesn't bleed through. The ink hasn't bled through at all. It's obviously something you want to be aware of. That when you're doing the doing these, so it comes up with nice quality. It's nice and smooth, and it hasn't bled through the paper at all. So it's a good quality.
200, yeah.
Yes. So that was that one. What else can I talk about whilst we're waiting? Any questions?
The difference in the line width setting and how to...
Well, I'll discuss that when I do it on here, because I'm going to have to change it for the next one, so
Okay.
I can discuss that.
You haven't had any questions yet.
I haven't had any questions yet. Doing well.
I'm doing all the talking at the moment.
Yeah, you're putting up lots of
Lots of links.
lots of it. That's all right. That's what I end up doing this evening, putting all the links up. Also to mention, as of next week, we are trying a later schedule. So we're experimenting due to me hopefully having a job. Says hopefully, fingers still being well and following wind. That it means that during the day we're not going to be around quite so much on Facebook. Obviously we'll be doing other things, and I've got to work from. Interesting change.
Yeah. So streaming what?
No. Why is my microphone flashing at me?
I don't know. Why is your microphone flashing at you?
Am I catching the button? Oh, it's all right. Okay, I'll just leave it at. Don't know. Pass. Anyway, okay. No, it's not saying there's an issue, so okay, it's fine. So we are going to try streaming in the evenings in UK time. So we are looking at 7 to 8 as our regular slot, and there may be Q&A sessions during the day if Natalie has time, or if you find lots of questions that she might.
It's freezing apparently. Hang on. Let me see if I can lighten its load a little. Right, let's put out that one. So.
Does it look frozen, or is it just that I'm not doing anything on screen so it looks frozen? If I change it back to the close cam.
I was going to say.
Next, the mat's not moving.
No.
Let's change it back to. That one's alright though. Because that's...
Is it my phone?
No, your phone's fine.
I don't know then.
Let's see if... let's change it back to overhead.
Because it's working now, look.
Yeah, hang on, let's go back.
Oh, there you go. It's alright now.
Okay. Okay, now it's your voice. Broke it. Oh dear. What was I saying? Yeah, so we're trying the time later, so our lives are going to be 7 till 8 PM on weekdays, Monday to Friday, for next week, and we're going to see how that goes. We're still going to stream it 3 ways at the moment, so it will still go to Twitch, YouTube and Facebook at the moment. There is a poll up to see which is more popular, which people prefer. So if you do want to have a vote on that as well and see if there's a platform that you prefer, to let us know. Obviously, because it's if we don't have to pay for the software to stream out quite so often, we may be able to do better, get other bits to make our streams a little bit better. Yes? So I've still got a couple of minutes left to go, it's just filling in. Maybe you can see the blue one that it's done very nicely, and it's filled in nicely, there's no gaps in my lines, and it's a nice smooth finish. With my little bit of a darker blue on the one side, because yeah, I shouldn't go do. That was my fault.
Yeah. So make sure you're cleaning your guides out of your universal pen holder, whether that's the you use the mucky one. There's a nice clean one in there.
Is there? Shall I swap the clean one for the next bit?
I would, yeah, but I'd wait until after it's finished drawing, because otherwise you're going to push it up against the pen.
So I'll change that as well, because ours is a little mucky. Natty spilt paint pen all over it. Didn't you, Natty?
It blobbed everywhere. That's no good. Apparently Tracy's commenting as Plannercraft, and I can't see that in the restream chat, which is
You should be able to.
Yeah, it's not showing. So Tracy, if I seem like I'm being rude, it's not that I'm being rude, I just can't see what you're saying. It's very bizarre. So I thought to try and save a bit of strain on the computer rather than watch it through Facebook, I just watch the restream chat instead.
It's getting there. It's almost done. It's only its last ones. Sound keeps flashing. Stop it.
What's flashing?
There's a bit over there.
Bit over there. Hang on, let me have
Like
a
it's
look
struggling
at
the signal.
Well, in which case then, put it somewhere a bit closer.
That's anywhere you normally sit.
You've got longer legs than me.
I've sat over there and it works fine. Anyway, let's finish printing that bit. So I'm not going to take my mat out because I want it to stay relative to where it comes to on the page. So I'm going to take my pen out, so hopefully you can see that on place. That was still an overhead, so you should be able to see. Put the lid on my pen so it doesn't dry up. So let's go back to the close scan. So we're going to go OK. We're going to go home. OK. And we're going to go pattern retrieve data into the USB. Back into my folder. And next we're going to do the dark blue. So again, it's already on there. I'm going to adjust the settings. So OK first. Edit. Now this time, because the pen I'm using has a bullet tip, it's a wider tip. So we want to object the edit. I want to go in, and from my tests, I can see that the 0.043 was the best colouring, so pop that up to 0.043. And you can see it looks a bit sketchy on the screen. I don't know if you can see that very clear or not. Let's just zoom in so you can see a bit better. So on the screen now, you should be hopefully go down to the bigger piece. You can see that the lines look like they don't line up, but because you're using a broader tip pen, it actually draws them much smoother and they line up much better. So though it looks like on your screen that you're not going to get the full coverage, you will, because it's just that little bit. So that's why we recommend doing the test first. And all I did was 1.5 inch squares and put the fill on and just messed with the settings till I was happy with what I got. So we go OK. We're happy with that. OK. OK. I'm going to select, I'm going to go to draw. Again, I didn't change the pressure settings or anything else, so I'm just going to get my other clip out, the clean one. So again, using the same pen holder, and I used the bullet tip, which is 1.2mm bullet tip, and it is a bit of trial and error with the tips, just to see what size you get it to. So again, let's just turn that back a little bit. So again, just pushing the pen through till it touches the bottom. Tighten up the holder at the top so it's nice and firm. Take off the clip. You can see it's drawn a little bit of a line on the bottom of my holder, but that's okay. It dries quite quick as well, so you should be able to wipe that out quick. So we're going to go with the dark blue. Again, put the pen in. Just angle that back a little bit for you so you can still see. I didn't change camera, did I?
Do you want to go back and show that again?
It was only loading the pen, which I showed before.
Okay.
So
I thought you meant that you
we're going to go
weren't showing the...
start, and okay. Now I've got it on the right camera for the screen and showing the screen. Again, it said appropriate for self-holder, and then we're going to go start. This one's only a short one because it's only a smaller. So I'll pop it back to the overhead so you get to see it. There we go, so that one done. And again, take my pen out of the holder. If there are any very small bits that have missed, it's only a little tiny bit at the top here, you can always go and colour that in afterwards, manually. Okay, just for the tiny lines. So, next we're going to the red pen. So I'll get that ready and then I'll do the scan and cut bit afterwards. So let's put that into my, so it goes into the holder, push it through till it reaches the end, tighten it up, yep, there we go,
There you go.
so it's attached, and then just lift it off. Might just give it a quick scribble because the one underneath was blue. It's good. So I'm going to pop that back into the scan and cut. So that's ready to go. So we're going to swap camera again. So we're going to go home. OK. Retrieve data. Back. Down to my folder. Down one. And we're going to do the love hearts next. And we're going to go OK. I'm going to leave the line width as is because I know it's the same sort of pen. We're going to go OK. Select draw. Again, it's only going to take a minute to draw all those hearts. So, very good. Start. Attach appropriate holder again because it's the 3D thumbprints holder. OK. And start. Pop that back to overhead. There we go, so that's that one done. There you go. Get the pen out. What tip do you think for this, for the foil? Do you go bold?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, be quicker then.
Mhm. So we can put the pen holder away. No, I can't. I need it for something else. Me saying putting it away? I can't yet.
No.
Need it for the embossing. How are we doing for time? Oh, wonderful. Okay, that's all that done. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to put my foil core bit in, ready to start warming up. I'll just re-angle that. So with this, I'm going to use my bold tip, which is the dark blue. So you can see we have the three different tips. You have the bold, the standard and the fine, the pink one being fine. And again, these have Carl's 3D thumbprints holders on, and they're fantastic little bits, and they come off nice and easily. As where if you get the brother one welded on like we have, they sometimes get stuck. So don't panic if it does. And so we're just going to use the bold tip, and I'm going to start that heating up so it's nice and hot, ready for when we do our foiling.
You pass me a pen holder in a minute.
Let me just put that out of the way for a minute.
You're losing your microphone.
Yeah, I turned around and it went with me. Pen holder.
Thank you.
Guide.
Yes, please. Thank you.
That's okay. So just to get that warming up, I'm going to plug it into my power source. So I have a USB.
Having one of those while I'm here, moment.
Charger. So while that's warming up, I'm not going to put it in my machine yet. I'm just going to hang it over the top so it can warm up freely out the way. So that should be doing nicely. Next, I'm going to attach my foil. So that's ready. And then once that's on, then I'll go to the machine. So it's got plenty of time to warm up. Now normally at this point I would recommend taking your mat out, but because I want it to be in the same place, I'm just going to pop my foil straight on and add some tape. I'm going to use some of Natalie's tape here that she's got on the desk that I can just pinch. I can't do anything about that. So you want to try and get this as smooth as possible onto your mat. And I recommend doing all four sides. As it will keep it nicely in place. So that's nicely done. So just give everything a good press down because you don't want the tape catching as it goes through the machine. Nothing worse. So we know that's going to cover my design, so I don't need to do a background scan on this one. So I'm going back to the machine. I'm going to go OK. We're going to go home, OK, to clear all the data. Retrieve data, USB. I wish there was a quicker way of doing this, or it remembered at least where I went last time I did it, which it doesn't. Down to the bottom we're doing the text, and we're going to fill this purple. Do I fill this or not? Or do I leave it with just the outline of the text? Do you think it looks good with just the outline? Like what I did earlier? So we just do around the outside.
No, I'd fill.
You do the fill as well?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Because you think about it, your embossing tool's going to go over the top, so it may catch that outline.
Okay. So we're going to change the fill pattern, because obviously it's I'll pop that back down to 0.2, which will give it a nice solid fill. And we're going to go OK, and OK, and OK. We're going to select, and we're going to draw. Now I'm going to slow my speed down, because I want it to have time to draw and then fill and keep the heat within the foil quill. It's the other reason I want it to get nice and hot as well, so it stays nice and warm and doesn't have any issues. We're going to go OK. And we're going to pop our warmed foil quill in. It should be nice and hot by now. And let's just move that so it doesn't catch. It's going to be awkward. Let's move that off. And we're going to start. Okay, again, because it's a 3D thumbprints holder, and start. It's going to take 12 minutes, so any questions?
I think I've answered most of them so far.
Oh.
Because Elsie was asking which tape you're using.
Yeah.
And I said pebble painter's tape, but it's it's too sticky, isn't it?
Sometimes.
So you're using something that's been out for a few days.
Yeah. I have put it on nice and slow, just because, like I said, I want it to heat as it goes.
Oh, Maggie.
What?
The only bit of the mat that you have to worry about not covering is the registration marks at the top edge. Anything else is fair game.
Yeah, so you don't have to worry about, like here you can see I've clearly covered the numbers at the sides and at the bottom. It's only at the top, so where you have these markings at the top.
Well, it's just the squares right.
That's what I mean, yeah, it's the markings at the top.
There we go. So it's just.
I was keeping that one a secret.
Go on. You can use it just to show the guys.
So at the top here, these bits are the bits that you want to keep clear.
Well, these bits.
So those two there, and
yeah,
this one.
Those two, that one, and that one.
This one right over here. So you got the three are the ones it looks for across the top. Two there. The one next to it. So this one here, these two, and this one in the corner. $10. What's that?
Talking about the foiling kit.
Oh.
Careful with the cable.
That's what I probably do.
So yeah, in terms of your mat You can even put a piece of card that goes between those registration marks that Ian showed you. So you can actually do a
longer
card. So if you've got something like the 8-inch adaptables from Lime Tree, they manage to fit just between those marks, so you can fall right into the centre of that. So if you want to do like a gatefold card, you can fold the centre panel. Maggie's not opened it yet.
Send it back.
Yeah. You can activate the foiling option on your machine without having a foiling kit, and you should be using it for any glue pens that fit, any paint pens that fit. So things like your Derwent paint pens will go in, the Tritons and the Flicey ones, and I've seen Arteza coming out with some as well, so I'll get in to show those on camera in a minute so you can see those.
I mean, I've got the Arteza one.
No, the Flicey ones that are down by you, so that people know what they're looking for. Or if you've opened a brand new gel pen and it's nice and juicy, then use the foiling setting on that, and it just saves it being smudged because it draws from the bottom upwards. But when you're drawing with the foil quill, you can just use a normal draw rather than using the foiling setting. If you're doing this foiling with a glue pen rather than a heated tip from your foil quill, then you're going to want to do the gluing, let it rest overnight, then do the foiling. But I wouldn't advise embossing over the top of that like Ian's going to do in a minute with this one.
It's kind of weird.
Because it goes more 3D, doesn't it?
A bit liney, but yeah. Oh.
Did you not put your lines close enough together?
I thought I had, but that's right, 'cause it'll do it all the same, so at least it'll all match.
I was going to say, we're normally always about, aren't we, in the group, if
Yep.
if you have any questions about how to do something. Yeah, you can do it via Buy Me a Coffee, or you can do it however you like, really.
Yeah, it should be on the extras if you want to buy the actual set, Carol, on Buy Me a Coffee, if it's working properly.
Has its off days, doesn't it?
Yeah. If not, you can send it via PayPal, it's fine. So the battery pack I'm using is a We Are Memory Keepers one. It costs around £30. It's quite an expensive one, but at the time it was bought with the foil quill. It was brought out with the foil quill, for the foil quill. It's a high voltage one. It comes out with a 5-volt output on it, which is quite high for a USB power pack. But you want to make sure that it's quite a high powered one to make sure that your foil quill gets up to a nice temperature.
PayPal's fine, Carol. Yeah.
Just on account. Sounds like I was on tap, Carol. I always find it weird how it picks which letter to do next. It never does it in the same order. Like when I just drew it without the foil, it did all the E's first, and this time it's done it in a completely different order, which is random. 'Cause it's the same file.
Yeah.
You think it would do it the same way each time, but it doesn't.
No.
And the foiling error is my fault, isn't it? Because I didn't test the foil earlier, did I?
Slipping.
Yeah, slacking. It hasn't done a bad job, but it looks quite funky. So. I might not get to do the embossing.
No, you got to show that on screen.
I might have to show it later.
You're going to take up my slot, are you?
No, I might just show it briefly at the start of your slot, just to show what we did.
I'll let you take my slot if you want. I can go Monday morning.
Don't promise people that you're going to turn up and then you put me there instead. They only get disappointed. It's just not the same, Natty.
I think I'll make the most of you while they got me.
I'm still here next week. Yeah. Have we got any questions popping up?
I'll have a look in a minute.
That's all right.
Oh, didn't want that. Didn't want that. There we go.
I do the full job.
No, you can show it later, and I'll do it Monday. It's fine.
Okay.
My dog prepped and ready to go.
Is it?
Yeah. I could do a 2-part on Monday, couldn't I? Do
Yeah.
part in the 11 and part in the
Do
7 to 8.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'll do then. So I'll show how to create the file in the
I
morning.
can take that out now, can't I?
Yeah, because you're going to put it over the embossing mat in a bit.
Yeah, so take that off and yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so
Do you want to very quickly talk about your embossing mat?
I will. I'm going to take that off. I'm going to reveal.
Okay.
So let's tip that back level. Let's move that out of the way. I can unplug my that for a minute, and that can sit somewhere just to dangle, as I do. So I can now unload my mat and fold that up. So here comes the reveal. So we can take our painter's tape off and stick that back to the desk for Natty for if she needs it. see what I mean, whether it's done. But it's okay. I can still frame it.
Started to lose a bit of temperature, I think, towards the end.
And I did these first, the last ones are at the top.
Okay.
Yeah. So we take the foil off. I said
It
some
goes
of them.
with the vintage look.
It does. It goes with the vintage look of the sign.
You could do something. I could foiling with that.
There you go, that's something for you to do. There you go.
Is that Tuesday's video, is it?
Yeah, maybe. So there we go. So I can take that off the mat as well now because the next bit is on a separate mat. So we can peel that off. And I haven't put any blue on the mat, that's just good. So I have visions of it. So there we go, we have that, and we have the lovely foiling. As it hasn't come out quite as well as I hoped, but I think that's partially my fault because I didn't change the line width setting enough.
Naughty.
And if I had the time, I'd probably do it again just to give it another covering. What we might do is to get a quickie glue pen and just do a bit.
Nah.
No,
No.
I think.
Like I said, if you're going to do quickie glue pen, then you wouldn't emboss the letters.
No, I suppose.
So your other option is that in between now and this afternoon, you change your file so it just embosses these bits then.
Yeah, so it doesn't emboss this bit. Well, they're all separate anyway, separate layers. So.
You not got one where you did all of it?
No.
Oh.
No, so I'm going to have to bring them all in anyway. So that's that bit. So our next bit is an embossing set, well, an embossing mat. Now this is a do-it-yourself job, and this is what we created. So it's a standard 12 by 12 mat. It is an Artistix one. It's an old Artistix mat. It's one we've used and abused, and don't know if you can see the cuts across the top, but each one of these nicks is one cut in our mat, and there's a good, yeah, few hundred in there. So we've used it a lot. So all I've done is I've taken some cheap foam, and it is purely cheap foam. It's big pack,
like
isn't it?
It's craft foam, isn't it?
Yeah. And I've double-sided the craft foam to the mat.
Literally.
Literally double-sided, so this is all stuck down, it's not going anywhere. It's double-sided. I've only tacked, it's only top and bottom on each piece.
That's enough.
And it's enough to hold it in place because I clean the mat as well underneath. And basically what you do is we're going to tape our artwork to the top of the mat. So we then tape it. I taped the four sides when I did the previous test. Re-upload the bits we want to emboss onto the screen, and then we let it draw. And it will slowly but gently emboss all the bits that we want embossed, and that's how we get this nice embossed feel.
Well, to be exact, it's going to deboss because it's pushing
That'll
downwards.
deboss, yes. So no, you don't need the embossing set to do it. You're drawing, and all I'm using for my embossing tool is a nail art applicator. It's also the same from Poundland, yeah. And this is also the one that Nat uses for a Hugie board. So when she's scoring things, it's the one she uses for the scoring. But it's one of the few times you see our machine actually get into the positive of pressure because we put it up to number 2. And you're better off doing it lower and more often, and it gives you a better impression than if you do it high pressure and you risk ripping your paper. So I will show that at 3 o'clock this afternoon. So I'm going to have a play with that and attack it. Like I said, we did 3 runs on this one, so I may just do it once on stream rather than 3 times, because I think 3 times to do all of that might take an awfully long time.
You could always cheat and already have done it twice.
No, I want to show it from so people see, because I want to
Okay.
set it up and show people how I set it up as well. So
Okay.
I'll do that and have a play. So I will leave that there. So that's ready for this afternoon. Yeah?
Mhm.
Any questions before I go? Hi Tracy. Sorry you made it a little late, but hello.
Hello. Hello. Hello. Hello. Hello. Hello. Hello. Hello. Hello. Hello. Hello. Hello. Hello. Hello. Hello. Hello. Hello. Hello. Hello. Hello. Hello. Hello. Hello. Hello. Hello. Hello. Hello. Hello. Hello. Hello. Hello. Hello. Hello. Hello. Hello. Hello. Hello. Hello. Hello. Hello. Hello. Hello. Hello. Hello. Hello. Hello. Hello. Hello. Hello. Hello. Hello. Hello. Hello. Hello. Hello. Hello. Hello. Hello. Hello. Hello. Hello. Hello. Hello. Hello. Hello. Hello. Hello. Hello. Hello. Hello. Hello. Hello. Hello. Hello. Hello. Hello. Hello. Hello. Hello. Hello. Hello. Hello. Hello. Hello. Hello. Hello. Hello. Hello. Hello. Hello. Hello. Hello. Hello. think so.
No. So who have we got today? Oh.
Tracy's still sorting a crafting.
For embossing, yes, certainly. The embossing pen or tool is a nail art applicator. So it came in a nail art set from Poundland.
3 of them for £1, wasn't it?
Yeah, and there's 3 or 4 of them in a pack.
Double-ended.
They should be double-ended, but we've lost the one end on this one. Don't know where it went, fell out. But that's all it is. So it's like a nice little nail art. If I pull it up a bit closer. So it's just got a nice ball tip on the end. And that's all it is. And so we've got it labelled for Huey Geeks. We use it for our scoreboard as well.
Yeah, don't pay a lot for it. It was only £1 for 3.
3 or something daft, yeah. Yeah, don't go spending a fortune on them.
Some of them are daft money when I've just been looking. So.
Any other questions?
Oh, you see, that's it.
That's it. Okay, so I'll be back briefly at 3 o'clock. Is it Lou on at 12 on Hajanda?
Yes.
So you got Lou on Hajanda at 12, Leslie at 1 o'clock with Chocolate Baroque, and then Jean with Crafty Individuals at 2 o'clock, and then we'll be back at 3. So those are all on Hajanda, so do go and have a watch of those. They've got some fantastic products on. Lou's got the 1 day special, so do go have a nose, and try and support our local businesses, obviously. Thank you all very much for watching, and we will see you all at 3 o'clock this afternoon. Thanks very much, and bye!
Bye!